I'm Mitchell Levy, Global Credibility Expert. Welcome to this episode of Dear Credibility Expert. I have one question. And the question that came in was really fascinating. And I've heard this question multiple times. So it's just a reinforcement of this was Bob actually sent it in last time, but many people have said this. And it goes back to, well, let's start with a question. Can I be vulnerable? And if I'm vulnerable, can I be credible? So we've been taught as part of the industrial age that we need to be perfect. We need to, the old thought leader stood on top of the mountain, and on top of the mountain, they knew everything, and they were supposed to say jump or leap. And then the audience would say, how high, how far? And that's not how we work. That's not who we are anymore. That's not the culture. It's a much more culture which is much more inclusive. It has more people as part of it. You have the opportunity to poll your audience, to get feelings, to talk with people. And so the real benefit of being vulnerable is by the way, vulnerability is one of the 10 components of credibility. And one of the real benefits for a thought leader, for a leader to be vulnerable is to say, hey, I know we need to go here, and I don't know exactly how to get there. And then ask their team, ask their people, ask outside experts, ask outside people who have nothing to do with what they do. And what's really fascinating, you might get some tips and tricks. People have done it before, and people add more value, and you get exactly what you need. But here's a real fascinating part. And I could tell you this from personal experience. I'm just about to give my second TED Talk. This one is focused on, I love the title. It's We Are Losing Our Humanity, and I'm tired of sitting back and watching it. What cool title is that? So, and I've practiced this talk in front of over 100 people, over 25 times. I'm going to make sure I make it 30, but it's right around the corner. Here's what's interesting. When I would practice in front of someone, it's one-on-one, or I did practice in front of a group of 85, so that's kind of how I got to over 100. The interesting part is I'd say, listen, I'm going to do this, and then I want some really honest opinions, right? And every person has added value in one way or the other. I had an NLP practitioner who said, I know what you're doing here, but it bothered me. Can you fix it? And they gave me an NLP term. I'm like, oh, yeah, that works. I had someone who, right after the NLP term, said, I like what you're trying to do, but what you're saying here means this, and you should do that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, right. And what's really beautiful is if you truly approach people with the intent of doing better and asking for feedback, because by definition, you're asking an expert for their expert opinion on how they process your stuff. When they give you feedback, if it's going to change how you are going to do things and you decide to say yes, that's the second or one of the second components of credibility, which is coachability. And to me, if you're not coachable, you're not credible. And so vulnerability means that you're going to listen and prepare and be ready to change and reflect. It means that, two other components, that you have the intent and commitment to do the right thing. So if you're vulnerable, you're getting the most honest and straightforward feedback. And if it's not done out of spite, if it's done out of support, it's an opportunity for you to learn, for you to grow. And for people, I have to tell you, I remember now when I'm giving this talk, who told me what when, and like I visualize their face as I'm speaking. It's the coolest thing. When somebody contributes to support you and what you do, feeling is so powerful because we do want to help each other. We do want to support each other. And so another component of being vulnerable is you're giving people the opportunity for them to shine, for them to share with you their genius. Anyhow, the short answer is being vulnerable is not in conflict with credibility, which is what the old days was and what the question was. Being vulnerable is part of credibility. And I hope you find this valuable. Do me a favor and click on the like button, share with your friends, and ask more questions. Whatever platform you're communicating with me with, feel free to ask the question, and we'll look forward to answering it at some future time. Thanks again. Take care. Bye now.